So we all know that the main problem of the whole real estate industry is how can you generate leads? Because without a lead generating machine, like a system that works for you 24/7, 365, you can't have enough clients that will sustain your business. So you cannot be successful. So to kind of help you on your way to creating your own lead generating machine, I want to show you 3 examples of 3 really successful realtors who have managed to sell over 100 homes in a year as beginners. And we're going to take a look at their examples and hear what they have to say has contributed to their massive success.
Well, if you research the best realtors in the industry, there's a common link that they all have, and they all have consistent lead sources, consistent, predictable lead sources. If you don't have a consistent and predictable lead source, how can you build a consistent and predictable business?
Yes, exactly. So without a consistent and predictable lead source, you can't have a successful business. So thank you, Jason, for doing the research for us. Now let's take a look at what Kory has to say.
Back in August of 2010, I knew 2 things. I knew that I wanted to do really well, and I knew that I didn't have any leads or any clients, and I knew that was going to determine if I could do well. So I thought, where do people search for real estate? And Google's the biggest search engine, and there's 2 ways to do it. There's organic and there's pay-per-click, and organic is something you don't do overnight. So I figured, let's learn AdWords, and I spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours figuring it out, and then I just run it now myself, and I do pretty well.
I love what Kory said, because he actually gave away the first step towards creating a successful business, any business, which is you have to understand your ideal client. You have to understand how they think and where their attention is. So what Kory figured out is that 96% of people start their search for anything online. The first place they go to is a search engine like Google and Bing and Yahoo and whatnot, but Google is the biggest player. So he knew that people's attention is on Google. That's where they're looking for the answers, and that's what he capitalized on. He placed himself in front of those people when they're searching for that home, and this way he generated a ton of leads. Another great insight that we got from Kory is that you have 2 ways of generating leads. One is organic lead generation and the other is paid lead generation. Now, paid is kind of self-explanatory and everyone understands it, but what is organic lead generation? Organic lead generation is when people find you themselves. You're creating super valuable and super relevant content. And by putting out content like blog posts and videos and whatnot, and placing and distributing that content through social media, you are capturing people's attention. And then when they click on that link, they want to read your blog post or take a look at your video, they end up on your website. And your website is actually the hub where everything happens. It's the place where you can take all those leads, or actually take all that traffic and convert them into leads.
We're always trying to qualify people, and the website actually qualifies people to begin with. So if they won't fill out the information, unqualified. If they will, more qualified. Then you pick up the phone, more qualified. Yes. Then you sit them down, more qualified. Then you get into actually working with them, super qualified, and they're hot, right? Sure. So it goes from a big funnel all the way down to where the closed deal happens, right?
And how you do that is something that we're going to cover in the next video. But for now, let's take a look at what these guys say are their top 3 sources of leads.
Kind of walk us through all your different lead sources.
The majority of the business is Google pay-per-click. Because the website, because Real Geek sites are so SEO friendly, especially with Google. In the last year and a half since I've had the site, or about 2 years, I've started to get about 40 or 50 organic leads per month off of the site, which is phenomenal. I'm really, really happy with that. And then the remainder, it's Google pay-per-click, and then there's a 10 or 15% portion of that's past clients.
And the reason why he's getting all those leads through his website is because his website is search engine optimized. Now, this is actually a great thing about having a website. This is the reason why you need a website. Your website is actually a hub to which you're driving all the traffic. If you're placing ads, those ads, when people click them, they should end up on your website. If you're producing some content and placing it on your website and distributing it through social media, when people click on that link, they end up on your website. So everything you do, everything that you distribute, everything how you grab people's attention should divert that attention back to your website. Because your website is a hub where you can convert all this traffic into leads, because you have some systems in place, which we're going to talk about later. And also because when all this traffic comes to your website, this signalizes to Google that your content, everything that you have on your website is really valuable and relevant to people. And this makes it rank your website higher in the search engine. So when people are typing in something like mistakes first-time home buyers make, if you have an article that has generated a ton of traffic and people stayed on that article like for long enough to read it, that signalizes to Google that you have something valuable. And it placed you on the first page of Google, and that of course can bring you, just like it brought Kory, like 40 to 50 organic leads per month. So
as far as numerically, there's no doubt about it, the largest numerical number of leads that I get per month are from Google AdWords. We have an AdWords Express account, and then Facebook, I'm probably spending $2,000 to $3,000 a month, which probably is a lot for some people, but it's generating so much interest.
I kind of lump things into three categories. I call it social media, referrals, and then internet leads. Those are the three areas that I focus on. I don't spend any money on anything but those three areas. So social media, internet, and then investing in referrals.
Now, social media, what are you doing on social media? And what platforms? Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat?
Yeah, Facebook and Instagram. I'd say Facebook's our main platform. We've done a new project this year called Sims in the City. So my team name is Sims Real Estate Group. So we've created something called Sims in the City. And what we're doing is I've paid professional videographers to go in and highlight areas in our market and do it in a way that's going to get people excited about those areas so we can really showcase the beauty of the community that we live in.
Jason is really helping me out here to explain how organic lead generation works. He is doing the best thing possible right now. He is creating video content. And why video content is so important is because right now 80% of all internet traffic is going towards video content. 80%. I mean, that's a staggering amount. So if you want to capture people's attention in the best possible way, you should be doing video. And just like Gary Vee gave up in many of his videos, he gave some advice for realtors. And the thing that he always says is that you have to become a media company. You have to become a creator of content. And the best possible content that you can create today is video content. And the best kind of video content, what the topic of that video should be, as Jason did, an intro into the neighborhood that you're working in. So you should showcase, the schools, the parks, the vendors, the cafes, anything that is in your neighborhood. You should showcase that. You can just take your phone. You don't have to hire a videographer like Jason did. He had money to spend, but if you don't have, your iPhone is, it has an amazing camera. So let's continue on.
Facebook, in my opinion, in my experience, however limited it might be, is unless you're hyper specific with the ad copy and the target audience, the landing page, the script the sales team is using, everything has to meld, for it to work. And it's working incredibly well. So two things that I've done in the last 2 weeks are run two property collage ads on two different new listings, two completely different price points, 400,000 and 200,000. And I've had 250 people sign up on my Real Geeks website in 10 days off those two ads, and I spent $400 on those two ads.
So just like Barry said, if you're doing paid lead generation through Google ads and Facebook ads, you're going to have a lot of leads. So, but if you don't have money, you can focus on organic lead generation. But I have to warn you that it will take much more time, because the thing is that Facebook has really lowered your organic reach. This means that out of 100% of people that follow you, whatever that number may be, only like 5% or less can see the content, anything that you post. So this is a big problem for people because, back in the day, anything you post would be seen by all the people that follow you. But right now, Facebook is cutting down on that and trying to make you, of course, pay to get your content seen by more people. So this is why right now you can't reach success as fast without using paid lead generation. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't create content. I know it seems like, I shouldn't do that. It takes too long. I'm just going to pay for some ads and that's going to be it. But don't neglect content creation and content marketing, because content is king. It is what everyone is looking for. It's not something you're placing, in front of people and shoving it into people's faces like ads are doing. It's something that people are looking for and searching for, and something that is valuable to them. And if you present yourself in a really good way through your content, then you can be sure that you will gain people's trust. And when you have people's trust, your chances of converting those people, those leads into clients is through the roof. So that's how it all works. It's just a funnel. It's a system of getting traffic to your website, a hub where you control this interaction, and a hub that will help you convert that traffic into leads. And then when you have those leads, you can follow up with them and convert them into clients. But now let's take a look at what these guys say. What would you do if you had to start it all over again?
Leads are everything. Make sure you're investing and not cutting corners there. And that will be a big key to your success. If you can at least get that first thing down, that'll help.
So I would do Facebook. I would start hitting the portals, probably Realtor first, and then hit the reviews pretty hard, and then open houses. I would do a lot of open houses. A lot, like 5 days a week probably. And if I moved into a new community and I didn't know anybody, I would run property or neighborhood specific ads on Facebook. And I would then capture as much as I could and retarget them on the internet. I don't think there's a cheaper way. Now I know everybody says it's cheaper to knock on doors, but time is money, and I'm not into knocking on doors. That's just my opinion.
My mindset was I was building something big, and I was building a company right from the get-go, and I just invested in the things that made sense. I didn't get too focused on having 10 different things that I did. I focused on like 2 or 3. And I try to become a master at those 3 things.
And there you have it. The guys have spoken. So I hope that by listening to some of these examples, you have figured out what the most effective strategies are. I'm leaving some links down in the description box, and that will take you to some really valuable resources that will help you get started on your way to creating your own lead generating machine. So next time we're going to take a look at the examples from these 3 realtors again, but we're going to take out some information about what they're doing after they've generated the leads. Like, how are they following up with them and how are they converting them into clients? Because people usually don't have a lead generating problem. People have a follow-up problem because they don't know how to convert all the leads that they're getting into clients. So subscribe to my channel so you can get notified when the next video comes out. And until then, keep on reading, keep on investigating, keep on learning. Bye.